We need to get rid of all the lobbyists and special interests if we are ever going to fix our government.
Everyone is a special interest. Everyone has a lobbyist.
That isn't true. How can that be true? I don't have a lobbyist. I am not a special interest.
You work here and you belong to the union, don't you?
Yes. What does that have to do with it?
They have people that are paid to talk to lawmakers and try to pass legislation that they think is good for you, don't they?
Yes, I guess so.
That means they are lobbyists, and you are a special interest.
But what if I didn't belong to a union? Most people do not. What if I was a worker here with no union? Then I would not be a special interest.
They will still claim to be working on your behalf, and other groups also say they are looking out for you. Women's groups will say they represent you. If you have a special handicap or disease, there are dozens of groups that meet with lawmakers and say they represent you.
But what about the elderly that do not work and are retired? What about children?
There are groups that lobby for them too. Some even receive government money and they lobby for various causes and issues. You pay dues to your union, they use some of that money to lobby. There are even groups that lobby for animals. Even homeless people with no money have groups that say they fight for them in the legislature.
But these other groups, I don't give them money, so I don't think I am their special interest.
Do you remember when you told me how you received a $20 credit on your electric bill the other day?
Yes, I remember that. It was because some group had worked to pass a bill to get a rebate on some charges they had disputed with the electric company.
Did you send the $20 back because you did not pay them to lobby for you?
No, I did not.
Do you remember the extra money you told me about that you received because your taxes were cut?
Yes, I remember that.
A taxpayer group lobbied for the tax cut. Do you belong to any taxpayer rights groups?
No, I don't.
Did you give that money back either?
No, I did not.
You mentioned that you were pro-life. Do you belong to any groups that work in the legislature on that issue?
No, I like what they do. But I do not belong to them.
Would you like to get rid of them by saying they can no longer lobby for that special interest?
No, I didn't mean that.
Do you remember the time you took off work to go to the Capitol with your union to protest that bill?
Yes, I remember that.
On that day, you were a lobbyist, and you were lobbying for your own special interest.
Then what about the Tea Party? They go to the Capitol and even the offices of lawmakers and protest too. And they are always complaining about lobbyists and special interests. What about them?
There is no difference. Whether they admit it or not, they're lobbying for a special interest as well.
But I am talking about the highly paid crooked lobbyists that use money to buy influence.
Some lobbyists use money and some use votes and some use both. Some are paid to lobby for a living. Others are volunteers because they believe in the cause. There are bad lobbyists just like there are bad doctors and nurses. Do you want to ban all doctors and nurses because some are bad?
Then why do politicians always say that they will fight the special interests if you vote for them?
That is a very good question and one that you should ask them. Which special interest will they fight? Your union? The small business group? The elderly? If they are not willing to say which one, then they're only saying it because it sounds good and means nothing.
I never thought of it like that before.
Remember, what you may think is a special interest is another person's cause and belief. When you try to get rid of or ban a special interest, you are risking the freedom of every citizen to petition their government.
I guess it is just easy and lazy to demonize other people's rights and freedoms as special interests when they are not your own.
Exactly.